All right, my beautiful friends, it is Thursday, May 23rd, 2019. A lot of stuff to talk about, some very important stuff to talk about here. As I am doing this video blog, stocks are under a significant amount of pressure. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 300 points. However, personally, I'm surprised it's not down even more than that. Doesn't mean we're not going to lose more throughout the day, but allow me to elaborate. So it seems that China is saying there's not going to be any more talks for now. And like I said, yeah, stocks are under pressure right now, down about 300 with regard to the Dow. We're going to need to see how this plays out. But the biggest story is not in the stock market. I want to show you this. I don't think many people are talking about it. The 10-year yield right now is 2.34. I want you to keep that in mind. The 1 month is yielding more than the 10-year. All right, now I want you to look at the 6 month. I talked about this yesterday. It's dominating the entire curve. Okay. Now I want you to see this. The 30-year is also coming down. There is a lot of bond buying, a lot of debt buying right now. So what's happening here is something I've warned about for a very long time, years, that we were going to get a full-on inversion of the yield curve. And that's exactly what it looks like is happening now. Again, I don't want anyone to take the wrong idea here, but this is a very bad sign for the U.S. economy, because every time we've seen this before, it has led to major recessions, market meltdowns. It's not good. And that's why no one really covers it, because you're not supposed to know this kind of stuff. Anyway, so understanding that, also understand that the bond market, although it's screaming that there's trouble coming, is a major lagging indicator. Now let's go back to this trade war here, which is absolutely escalating. There's a couple of things in play that we need to understand. China, let's talk about the leadership over there. For weeks now, they have been preparing their people and actually explaining to them that they're going to need to sacrifice. They can expect hard times. Here in the United States, it's the polar opposite. Initially, we were told that trade wars are easy to win. Repeatedly, President Trump welcomed a trade war, again, because they were easy to win. He explained how the talks were tremendous and fantastic. And it all turned out to be, I don't want to say a lie, but not true. And unfortunately, China has been pulling the strings, as I have described, since the onset of this. And they continue to do it now, because they're saying no talks. And you can see stocks are getting slammed right now. And again, like I said, I expect stocks, you know what, let me give you a live update here. Dow Jones Industrial Average is now, whoa, now we're down 389. All right. I'm not really surprised about that. All right, let me minimize this. We'll see. Again, there is a lot of stuff going on right now, and I'll tell you something. We're seeing the two largest economies in the world being led by two very different leaders from two completely different ideologies. I personally think, and I've explained this to you before, that if our president were to be honest with the American people, were to level with the American people, kind of almost like the Chinese rulers are doing over there, explaining to them, look, we're in a trade war. You're going to need to sacrifice, and things are not going to be so pretty for a while. I really think the American people would get behind the president. I really do. But with the repeated lies and misinformation, it's not going to look good for him, truthfully. And, just last week, the president said we were not sending any troops to the Middle East. This is just a week ago. Now we are. Apparently, the first batch is going to be around 10,000 troops, on top of all the ships and bombers and anti-missile batteries we're sending over there too. And I'm not saying that the president was lying there, because obviously he knew a week ago what he was going to do. I think he got caught off guard, and maybe I'm being too nice here when he said we weren't sending any troops over there. He obviously knew we were. I think he just didn't know how to handle that question. Anyway, look, here's the situation. It's pretty straightforward. Things are not good across the board. This trade war is not going the right way for the United States. It's not going the right way for China either. And again, our leaders here on both sides, irresponsibility, poor judgment, and I really wish President Trump would have kept his mouth shut with regard to all of this here, not saying it was going to be easy to win repeatedly, not talking about how tremendous the talks were and fantastic, not lying about who's paying the tariffs. It just doesn't stop. It really doesn't. I think it's time for the president to literally get up in front of that podium and level with the American people. And maybe then he can turn this around. And I'll tell you one more thing before I let you all go. If this market bleeds off, if we start to get hit harder, the president's in a lot of trouble for the next election. It's his only claim to fame, and it's the only reason why the corporations would back him. Again, the United States economy is failing. It has been failing for a long time, and the proof is kind of in our face with all the fake data that they shove down our throats. Give us the real data, and then, and tell us really what's going on. Honestly, it's not a hard thing to do. When people get strung along like this, and then they're hit with the reality, they don't like it. So a couple of things have to happen here, no doubt about it. Number one, I think our president needs to level with the people. Finally tell people the truth as to what's going on. And maybe he can get the people to back him a little bit. If he doesn't, he's in a lot of trouble. If this market sells off and continues to sell off, he's in a lot of trouble again with regard to winning the next election. It's his only claim to fame. Period, the end. So we'll see how that plays out moving forward. Anyway, in summary, stocks are under pressure right now. Let's do another update real quick before I let you go. About the same, down about 380 on the Dow. Okay. Again, I'm a little surprised it's not worse, honestly. Thousands of points have been put onto this market on the hopes that a trade deal was going to happen. You remember, because it was so easy to win, President Trump was welcoming it, and it was tremendous and fantastic. It's not so tremendous and fantastic, and obviously not very easy to win. It's time for the president to be honest with the people. Really, I don't know another way to say that. Will he finally do that? My guess, no, he won't. He has to keep the narrative, and it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. All right, with that said, love you a lot. Let's see how this plays out. Watch that bond market. See you at the end of the day.